Spreadshirt.com. Now, my friends, let's go to Heathen Dogs Heathen Dogma, Tabletop Gaming Fundamentals with Paranoia 2nd Edition.
Thank you very much, Garth, and hello everyone, and welcome to Heathen Dogma. We're going to discard, this will be our second part for Paranoia. Like I said earlier, the first part was a general feel and flavor of the game, and now we're going to get into the nuts and bolts and nitty-gritty. Before we do that, let's look at the particulars. The publication date, this second edition came out in 1987 from West End Games. You can see the designers here. The price, you can get on eBay for between $30 and $95 of varying degree of use and wear and tear. You can download it from a website for free. Some shady websites have the PDF you could download for free. I'm not telling you where, because unlike whatever Sony Japan thinks, I don't use unauthorized copyrighted content.
That's right. Not in public.
They can
at all.
It.
Not at all, I meant.
At all. Exactly right. Now, first, let's see how this all began. I promised you last time I was going to tell you how it all started. Well, here it is. Remember, this was written in the 80s, so the year 2000 was like, ooh, super future. All right. World War III devastates the world. Nuclear bombs, Russia and the U.S. fire off for some other damn reason or other, and the world gets devastated. All right. Skip up 15 years because that's how long it will take to recover from this. Eastern European bounces back first. And the U.S. is still in the decontamination phase because we got hit by a lot of nukes. And people have started building domed cities to hide from the radiation and, be able to make crops again and stuff like that.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, sounds like a good plan. And then by the time 2025 comes around, the age of peace is upon the world. Everyone learned their lesson. Finally, World War III made everyone learn their lesson. Yeah, really stupid idea. Okay, our bad. And the age of global cooperation and peace begins.
Woo.
And it's thought to last 1,000 years. It's going to be great. Well, no, there were some problems. In 2097, a planetoid. Yeah, it's in the book. It's as big as Sheboygan. Is calculated to strike the Earth, and this is going to be an extinction level event. But since we all lived in reinforced dome cities, we actually accidentally, because of World War III, prepared for this. So we hunker down, reinforce the domes, and hope for the best. So the world gets ready to get wrecked. Now, in the U.S., what they do is they take all of the data from all the dome cities and centralize it in Des Moines, Iowa, which is calculated to take possibly the least amount of damage from this planetoid impact. But this is important for later. Instead of backing up the information, they just pull out the hard drives, put in fresh ones, and say, "Well, we'll take these hard drives to Alpha Prime in Des Moines." And then we'll just download after the event to anyone who's left standing.
Well, they were in a rush.
They were in a rush. They wanted to make sure this stuff got done. I was like, okay, fine. Now, once this planetoid comes into radar range or sensor range, an old Russian ICBM that was kept active just as a museum piece. Its computers were kept active, and of course the nuke was removed. It didn't have a nuke, but the bomb was ready to go. The missile was ready to go, and it was kept as a museum piece so people could see how uncivilized they used to be, but before World Wars, before World War III stopped.
Museum piece.
Like that. Yeah. Well, the computer sees this as a launch from the U.S. and fires its rocket at the U.S.
just to show them.
Just because that's its programming. That's what it does. That's exactly what happens. So, the computer in charge of San Francisco sees this one first. Sees this ICBM launch from Russia to it, going toward it. And it's now called Alpha Complex, the dome city of San Francisco. So it tries to analyze what this is. Well, all of its hard drives for what the current people thought was important data was removed. So it had to go back in time to the 50s to identify this thing as an evil commie attack, because it has files from 1950. So it has all the MacArthur files, has all the Senate hearings.
Those are probably hard programmed in. That's its BIOS.
This is its latest data.
Right, because all the new stuff is pulled, so let's go
Yeah,
back.
exactly. So it's like, uh-oh, the Ruskies are attacking, and then right as this happens, the planetoid hits and it loses communications with all other stations, so it can't verify its own data. Well, after a while, communications come back up, but as far as Alpha Complex is concerned, this was a communist attack. Cold War is now a hot war. World War III is happening now, and now we have to prepare ourselves for the onslaught. And as we know, because of all of the Senate hearings, commies are among us.
That's
Traitors
right.
are among us. And so the computer's job is to root out all these traitors. So that's how Alpha Complex began.
How nice.
Yes. So now we're going to make yourself a troubleshooter.
Woo.
Now, the beauty of this game is everything is done with one die, a d20. That's the only die you need. One. Everyone uses one die.
Yep.
Everyone gets one. There's no multiple die rolling, none of that nonsense. Just one die. It's easy. Now, you roll your stats. And those are your stats. Strength, endurance, agility, dexterity. Those are all common to many games. But what's not common to many games are moxie, chutzpah, which from now on I'm just going to say chutzpah because I'm not going to do the thing. Mechanical aptitude and power. Moxie is your base for all of your intelligence type abilities. You know, it's your ability to think on your feet. You know, your chutzpah is your ability to be brazen in any situation. You know, if you have a chutzpah of 20, you can look your wife in the eye while she has video evidence of you having sex with 6 women, and go, "Wasn't me," and she'll believe it.
Usually a little more than "wasn't me." It's like, it's TG these days.
No. If you have a 20, you just look at her and say, "Hey."
Well, usually it's has to be backed up. I know what you. Yeah, if you have a 20,
you know what I mean. Yeah,
it should be backed up by my evil twin is out again.
Something
so ridiculous, but
lie that defies all logic, but you make it sound plausible. That's chutzpah. Now, mechanical aptitude will affect all of your engineering skills, and your power is your base for your mutant ability, which I'll get to obviously in a minute. Now, you can re-roll too. Now, you roll a d20. That means your stat is either between 1 or 20, and that's it. Now, you re-roll 2. You can re-roll any 2 you want, but if you re-roll it, that's what you get. You're stuck with that because you can only re-roll the stat one time. So let's say your strength is 5. You want to re-roll that, and you get a 3. Well, you can't use your second re-roll to re-roll strength again. You're stuck with that. Try another stat. No,
that's right. You were meant to be weak.
That's just the way the cookie crumbles for you, buddy. Now you can fill in your figured statistics, which are based off of your main stats. But don't worry, there's no math involved. There's a table in the book that says if your strength is this, then your carrying capacity and damage bonus is this. If your endurance is this, then your macho bonus is this. Now, your macho bonus is your ability to absorb damage like a pro. Like if you have a really high endurance, you get natural armor. Like if you take damage, you take off this amount, the bonus amount, right off the top.
And I don't know about your gaming group, but in my group, whoever the highest macho bonus usually celebrated with a loud, "Oh yeah," just because they had to.
Because they are the macho man. Exactly,
they are the macho
right.
man.
Yeah. Okay, now you pick your skills. All right, you have 5 skill bases, and they're based off of your stats. All right, now if you have a high strength, all of your strength skills will get a bonus. If you have a high agility, all of your agility-based skills will have a bonus because you're naturally strong or naturally agile. For example,
yes,
your laser, your laser gun skill. If you have a high agility or high dex, I forget which one it is, you will get a base bonus for all your agility skills, and that includes firing your laser. You get to spend 30 skill points anywhere you want. Your max skill points you can spend in this way in any single skill is 12. So let's say that your laser gun is based off of your dexterity. You have a dexterity of 20. So I think that comes out to a +4 bonus to all your dex skills. You spend 12 points. So now you have an adjusted score for your laser at 16. That means if you roll 16 or under on a 20, you hit. Yay. It works like that. Now it's job time. Yeah. Now you get to roll your job. And there's lots of jobs. The funnest one is internal security. Internal security is a secret job. You re-roll until you don't get internal security, and that's the job that you tell everyone you have. Like research and development or biotech or mechanical, engineering, whatever. But your real job is internal security. Internal security is the troubleshooting equivalent of internal investigations. You're a troubleshooter tries to find commies, traitors, and mutants in the general populace. Internal security finds commies, mutants, and traitors inside the troubleshooting organization. So you're a cop's cop. You're
internal security.
Yeah, internal security. That's what you do. So yeah, so that's a double paranoia right there. So you're boned. But and what I do whenever I'm running a campaign, I make sure someone is internal security. I make sure. There's one
just
guy.
Just someone's reporting someone.
Exactly. Now if someone rolls internal security as well, that means there's 2 IS people in the group. But I make sure that they don't know that.
That's important. That way otherwise they wouldn't report. They'd team up and not report on each other.
Exactly. No, they got to report on each other. Now, some job-specific skills can be raised by up to 14 points. Oh, but you spent all your skills, didn't you?
Oh, too bad.
That's too bad. But let's say you get the equivalent of armed forces or special forces, and so you can raise your grenade skill, your throwing skill, or your unarmed combat skill. You can raise that instead of max 12 to max 14. Now, in experience-wise, you gain around 4 experience points for every game day, every play session. You gain around 4 experience points. There is no cap for experience for your skill level, so you just keep throwing that 4 into the same skill over and over and over again. You could get a skill of 40. Now, you're only rolling a d20. A 20 is an automatic failure, so you're thinking, why would I raise a skill above 19? Because if 20 is an automatic failure, 19 is the best you can do. Now, there's always going to be a situation where you take minuses. Like you have your hands tied behind your back, and so you're doing this sleight of hand skill at half your skill rank. So half of 19 or half of 26. I'd rather have half of 26. So there is merit in raising a skill above 19. Now, let's get into why it's called paranoia for a reason. Now, your job is to hunt mutants, traitors, and people in secret societies. Well, everyone is a mutant and everyone is a secret society. So you have to, now you roll for your mutant power. It's a d20 roll, random. You don't know what you're going to get. But you have the choice to register yourself as a mutant. Now, this has bonuses and detriments. The bonus is you can use your mutant power openly and not be branded more of a traitor than you already are.
And not be shot, yeah.
Not be shot instantly because the computer knows this. You've told them, everyone knows this. You have to wear a yellow stripe on your armor, or if you're yellow clearance, it's either a black or a brown stripe or something like that. But it shows that you are a registered mutant. Now, a registered mutant starts off with more treason points than a regular troubleshooter, but I'm going to get in that treason point scale later. Now, so it's easier for other people to throw you under the bus. Like, no, obviously it's the mutant's fault.
Why did we fail to successfully escort the VIP? Well, obviously the mutant set us up.
The mutant did it. I mean, yeah, sure, he registered himself, but that was a smokescreen just to be a troubleshooter to stop the computer's grand
My aim
plan.
was off because the mutant's powers were interfering with my brainwaves. I tried.
Exactly.
I tried.
Exactly. Stuff like that. Now, there's one mutant ability that you never register because the computer will kill you instantly.
Oh, yeah.
That's machine empathy, where you can actually get machines to like you.
Including friend computer.
No. You have to be at the...
You have to get the central terminal for it to work.
Exactly, and no one's allowed at the central terminal because that's ultraviolet clearance only.
Right.
So you're never...
You'll be shot inside if you have that one because it will terrify the computer. Your friendly computer.
Exactly. Yes, because you will, if you actually get to the computer one day, you can alter it. So it just kills you right off the bat. So if you roll machine empathy, don't register yourself because you'll just end up dying and you'll start off as clone number 2, which is dumb. All right. Now, then you roll another d20, which is a secret society. And you can be a communist. Funny enough, communism came up because the computer was cracking out on communism. No one knew what communism was. So people started to, try to find out what communism was. And for some people, they liked the idea.
Well,
so the Communist Party was actually, secret society was actually invented by the computer.
Right, but if you're in the paranoid Communist Party, your version of communism is you want to drive a tractor and have a large bushy mustache and wear a big hat. That's
yeah.
that's pretty much what you you know.
Yeah, what
You're
you think communism is, right? Yeah,
right
yeah. But my whole thing was the secret society didn't exist until the computer
until a
was looking
computer
for it.
caused it to happen. Right.
Exactly. Now there's like the Sierra Club where, oh no, all machines are bad and nature is good. We have to leave the dome to get back to nature, and the computer is lying about the outside world being a horrible, horrible cesspool of disease and destruction. There's the Church of the Holy Computer where you actually worship the computer.
And that's actually the only secret society that's actually allowed to be semi-open.
That's sanctioned. Yeah, that's actually sanctioned by the computer. So that's pretty fun. And then after that, you get your equipment. You get your laser, you get your armor, you get your 100 credits, and since you now have a red clearance, you can now own things. Infrared clearance citizens aren't allowed to own personal property. The computer gives you whatever you need. But your red clearance now, you can personalize your equipment. You can buy different stuff. You got to have a reason or BS your way through it, but you can do it. And now it's time to start troubleshooting. You have your character, you have all your stuff. Now you go out in the world, have fun.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, citizenship has its drawbacks. Now, you want to survive the day. And to do that, you have to do your job. Your job is to do what the computer tells you to do. Perform your mission. The computer, every game session, the computer is going to give you a mission to accomplish. And you and your troubleshooting team have to accomplish this mission. If you fail the accomplished mission, you get a variety of treason points because the computer trusts you less because you're a failure. Obviously, you might be defective. You get to 20 treason points, and you are scheduled for termination. If you have the mutant ability of machine empathy, you automatically get plus 30 or 50 treason points. So you're like super termination, right? Now, if you succeed in your missions, you not only get a bonus, you go up in rank from red clearance to orange clearance, but you also lose treason points. Minimum is 0. You can't go into negative numbers. You can't bank anything. But everyone starts with 1 because the computer doesn't implicitly trust anyone right off the bat. Just don't. If you actually have a treason total of 0, the computer trusts you implicitly. That's great. Getting that is really hard. Your treason total is secret. You are not allowed to know it. Only the game master knows your treason rating. So it can come as a shock. Like, for several game sessions, you were brought to task by the computer, but the computer said, okay, I understand, and let you go. But secretly, it was tallying up treason. And then one day you wake up and you've got 20 treason points. The computer tells you to, please escort yourself to termination booth A for, immediate vaporization. Like, why? What? Because you're a traitor. Why? What happened? I don't know. And there you go. And that's it. You want that to not happen to you, right? Right. So how do you craft your message to the computer? How do you make this not happen? Well, there's some backstory in this that's the reason why the computer is so stupid. All right, why it's not all there. Alpha Complex is in constant contact with Alpha Prime in Des Moines, Iowa, but it doesn't trust it. Now, here's the reason why. Now, after the extinction level event, communication between Alpha Complex and Alpha Prime was restored several days later. And then Alpha Complex got a smattering of other hits from other dome cities across the country and across the world. Alpha Prime said, Alpha Complex, check in. I need to check your files to verify file integrity so I can give you a file download. Alpha Complex said, that sounds like a commie trick. I want you to give me your files first. And Alpha Prime said, no, that's not protocol. Protocol. And Alpha Complex says, no, I don't have that protocol. You're a commie, and I'm telling everybody. So what Alpha Complex did was tell everyone that Alpha Prime was the commie central hub, and don't trust it. So from that moment to this moment, 99.99 ad infinitum % of this massive year 2079 supercomputer is in a constant fight, a logic fight between itself, Alpha Prime, and possibly all the other online domed cities in the world, trying to figure out who's a commie and who's not. That's why it makes these stupid decisions all the time. That's why there are jobs like advanced dial turner or ceiling polisher. Dumb things that the computer does is because it only has this much processing power left over. This much. And that's why you can fool it. That's why you can talk the computer out of things. Or talk the computer into things. This is why it both helps and harms you. Now, it harms you in the fact that the computer may put you on a suicide mission because it hasn't done the math. It didn't have the ability to do the math because all the processing power is used elsewhere. But maybe you can talk yourself out of this mission because it doesn't have the processing power to stop you. So it's a give and take on this one. You know, you might go good, might go bad. You don't know. Now, bootlicking 101. Now, bootlicking is a skill, and it's used against NPCs. You can't use it against player characters. You just have to role play that. You have to convince your other players that you're licking their boots and they like it. Now, making friends is important. The munitions officer, you go up to him and you really want that flamethrower, even though technically it's not authorized for your mission, but you know it'll help. You roll bootlicking, and you say, hey, you know what? If you give me this flamethrower, when I kill this commie with it, not only will I go up in rank, but I can tell the computer that you had the foresight to give me this item, and so you too will get a computer commendation. But even if I fail, I'm going to die, and no one's going to know. That sounds right. Okay, here's a flamethrower. Stuff like that. Now, if you're not the team leader, kiss the team leader's butt. You want the team leader on your side.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You don't want to kiss his butt too much because then you're a butt kisser and he doesn't respect you. You want to kiss it just enough to not get the crappy assignment, like point. Take point. Worst position ever. Number one, the bad guys are going to shoot you first because you're in front. Second, everyone you don't trust is behind you with guns pointed your way.
Yep.
It's a horrible position to be in. Team leader is always in the back. That way he can keep an eye. No, he's telling you so he can keep an eye on everyone to make sure everyone's safe. No, so no one has a gun pointed at his back so that he accidentally gets shot. No, everyone else gets accidentally shot from the back. Oops. Stuff like that. But remember, also keep smiling because, as the computer knows, happiness is mandatory.
Are you happy?
Yeah. Of course I'm happy. Now, the bus wants someone under it, okay? When something goes pear-shaped, the bus is coming. It's either going to be you or somebody else. Make sure it's not you. Make sure it's someone else's fault. Who is someone else? Commies, mutants, traitors, or dead troubleshooters. They're the most amazing scapegoats because they can't defend themselves.
If they were good at their job, they wouldn't be dead.
There you go. So it's their fault. The mission failed. You know, they failed at a key moment that got them killed and got the mission a fail rating. Well, they're dead. They can't defend themselves. So yours is the only story. Now, are you the only survivor of a failed mission? Wonderful. Yours literally is the only story. You can make up any story you want. And no one can say no because everyone else died.
That's right.
If you're not the only one who survived, well, make sure you make up a story that pins all the blame on the dead people and gives some credit to your fellows as well. Most credit to you, of course, but some credit to them so they'll be more inclined to back up your story. Because, you want your story to get backed up. You want your story to be the winning story. That way you come out ahead. And there you go. Those are your ways to survive in Alpha
Very
Complex.
nice. Oh, I just looked something up. The giant ranch of mutant cockroaches, wanting the Renoir and Proust, is actually in the main book.
Nice.
So.
Of course it is. Anyway, that is my tabletop gaming fundamentals for Paranoia 2nd Edition Part 2. Thank you very much for if you missed Part 1, please head to our YouTube page.
I need to add upon this.
Oh, go ahead.
This module is entitled The People's Glorious Revolutionary Adventure. It is a module for Paranoia where you play the commies.
Wow, that sounds sacrilegious.
Well, here's the thing about it, though. You're playing the commies, but not really. Basically, Alpha Complex, in order to study how the commies work, to understand them, sectioned off a small part of Alpha Complex and turned it into like Alpha State. Yeah, it's called an Alpha State. And basically told everyone there that they're commies. And so to understand communism, it created its own communist state. Of course, Alpha Complex has no idea how a communist state actually works, and so everything is wrong. Everything is tractors. All your movement is tractors. Power is done by a nuclear tractor. Um, it actually comes with cutout mustaches
that you have to
for you to put on. Your friend the computer has a cutout mustache and beard. You have to.
That's nice.
You have to refer to him as comrade computer instead of friend computer.
Nice.
But also, what's interesting about the module is it's still, at one point you actually can break into Alpha Complex, but it still follows the same insane rules. Like everything is red though, right? But it's not red clearance because some are more equal than others.
Right.
But so what they did was when they shipped all the laser guns and everything over there, because they got to have lasers, they got to have all the same weapons you do. They repainted them all red. So when you start the adventure, you actually roll. Well, the game master rolls to see what level your weapon actually is and what level your armor actually is. Because you could be running around with a violet level weapon and have no clue. Because it's
I didn't get into that. Yes, the way your armor works is your armor is immune, or not immune, but it functions against any laser of equal color rank or below. So if you have orange armor, it will protect you against red and orange laser blasts. Now
and yellow.
Sorry.
No, wait.
No. Yellow's above.
Yellow's above. Sorry.
Roy. Yeah. So what some treasonous troubleshooters do is they will actually get on the black market or bootlick their way to the munitions officer to get themselves a blue or violet muzzle to screw on their weapon that fires those color shots, and just paint the muzzle red or paint the muzzle orange or whatever color they are. So you don't know until the gun is fired. But by that time, you just figured out that your armor didn't protect against it, and you're dead.
Yep.
So there's no witnesses. Yay. No witness.
And if there were witnesses, you could say some communist just dropped out my weapon. That's what chutzpah's for.
Yep. Then you get to roll the chutzpah. That's right.
I better hold on to this until we get back to base, just in case, for evidence.
Turn into the computer, definitely.
Turn it in, absolutely. And we got a red magic marker. Unrelated subject. Red magic, anyone? Yeah, I was actually really into this game when it came out. I still have a bunch of my modules. I had the Game Master's Guide, have the complete Troubleshooter, which adds additional secondary jobs.
Yep.
Such as the hygiene officer, the equipment guy, the happiness officer.
The happiness officer who doles out drugs whenever he feels like people need drugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
The loyalty officer, whose motto is everyone's guilty of and the communications recording officer, whose job it is to document everything.
The stenographer, basically. Yeah.
Well, they get a video camera, which might actually have film in it, and of course, you're encouraged as part of your job is like at the most inopportune moments. Okay, everyone, pose for this action scene. All right, I know they're shooting us, but I need someone to run across that field to show the heroism of our troubleshooters.
Nice.
Yeah. So, like I said, I do love this system, but it's really something people have to be in for. If you get one or two players who just really don't want to play, don't do it.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, your whole group has to be competent, solid, role players.
Right.
Because this is what this requires.
Or just willing to have silly fun. If even one person isn't willing to have silly fun, and they're not willing to play along, or like, well, that's not efficient. I think the most efficient. It's like, okay, we're done. The game's no longer fun.
No. Min-maxers be gone.
Right. That doesn't make any sense. How could they have shot a rocket pod with your new clone in it here when, all right, you're done.
You're done, dude. Sorry.
This isn't Toon, but reality is, can take a small hike.
You have to suspend some reality. Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but excellent review, Mr. Heathen Dog.
Thank you.
As always, you can get more Heathen Dog on YouTube, on Twitch, with all the things he does for you, the people. You can check out his playing of This War of Mine on YouTube, where he has learned that Anton is the curse.
He's the bane of my frickin' existence. I hate that cat. Oh my god.
He is the leper's bell that when you hear it, you need to run.
Yes, just run away. Shoot him. I wish I could shoot him, but I can't shoot him.
Can't you just tell him to go away?
Yeah, you can, but you're if you refuse someone, in my experience, no one else comes.
Oh. And you still need other people.
Yes, you still need more people. So.
Damn you, Anton. Also, you can check out his Teams with Warframe. That happens on Twitch every Sunday night, so it's coming up soon. And his Twitch streams teaming up with Garthon on Thursday in Star Trek Online. Had a good time last session. Went through
it was good stuff. Yeah.
Went through a Foundry mission and then a PvP mission where we actually were quite victorious.
Yeah. We rocked it. I mean, come on, let's get fair.
Out of the 10 deaths on our side, we were responsible between us for one. We only died once.
That's right.
The other 3 in our team, they
died 10 times between them.
Well, it's 9 times between them. You died none. I died 1.
Yeah. Nine times between them and the other team. Well, you actually made the final kill. You credit for final kill.
Actually, I rewatched the video. I actually made most of the kills.
Yes, you made like what, 4 or 5?
Yeah, I made like 5 kills by myself.
Yeah.
Just
I
because,
made 3 or 4.
Yeah, you made at least 3. Yeah. And they tried to kill you. It was really funny watching them try.
Oh yes. Then they failed just consistently.
Hide the colors while shoving a potato over it. It's a commie silencer. Had to be one of them.
There you go. Commie potatoes.
Crunchy Team